blood-stained hall forgotten by time. Cracked tile and shattered stone litter a crimson battlefield. The Scarlet Butcher, Rook Ashford, cloaked in a shifting darkness, takes in the sights around them. I respect your tenacity, Mr. Sanoa, as well as your loyalty to your newfound friends. Your sins weigh heavy upon you, which is exactly why I know you won't flee with your newfound camouflage. Rook's burning eyes catch the unsettling dust just beyond their reach, enough time to formulate a response. A burning sigil forms in the palm of Rook's hand, answered by an identical sigil that lights up across Gelman Sanoa's torso. Erupting from the floor are a series of crimson spectral chains encapsulating Gelman's form, which quietly reveals itself as a clenched fist is stopped mere inches from Rook's masked face. A passionate blaze in his eyes, Gelman attempts to push through the restraint. With a final burst of strength, Gelman reaches forth, ripping the mask from Rook's face just as the chains yank his form to his knees. The ivory mask clatters against the floor, revealing the form underneath. Gelman's heart skips, his strength wavers, his eyes widen as fear overcomes him. Rook, as calm as ever, reaches down and takes the ivory mask once more, fixing it tightly to their face. What are you? Are the only words Gelman manages to whisper out of the chains around his form tighten. Something very old. A scar long thought forgotten. But please, do not go mad until I give you leave. It is this moment that Gelman channels what little strength remains, struggling and fighting against the chains that restrain him. I won't let you hurt anyone else. Get yourself off changing these poor people until you're twisted monsters! You sick fuck! I'm sorry to disappoint you, Mr. Sanoa, but your friends have changed the formula. Your permission is no longer a factor for consideration. And I assure you, this was never about pleasure, purely business. Rook's gaze shifts to the large form of the seraphim lying just beyond. And your friends have incurred quite a debt. Gelman's gaze also shifts over to the seraphim. Its flesh slowly begins to squirm and pulse, a low grumble echoing from its form. Rook gently caresses Gelman's chin in the crook of a curled finger and their thumb. But their efforts are merely a setback. With you here, we're back on the right track. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome back to another episode of Sins of the Blood. Hello, welcome. It is Sunday night. You know what that means. We are back in the city of Blackwall, and I am joined by 6 intrepid souls. Say hello, 6 intrepid souls.
No, I refuse.
5
Fuck you,
intrepid
Rook.
souls.
Hello, 6 intrepid souls.
Thank you, Joe. It's actually
Shit, Rook.
5 intrepid souls, as our dear friend Jay Frost is currently dealing with a few internet outages tonight. So unfortunately, he may or may not be joining us tonight, but he will be listening. And so we all are going to wave politely to our friend Jay Frost, who is viewing from home, either in the present now or the future then. But yes, I am your humble dumble master, as always, the one and only pudding pastry, the farting tart, and I am so excited to bring you all this session tonight. Apologies for missing last week. I was having a really bad mental health day last week, so I thought it would be best for us and myself specifically to take a little bit of a respite from the usual chaotic nature of daily life. But we are back today, and we are going to get back to it. So, with that, let's go ahead and everyone do their test rolls. $19, $18,
3.
$11, and $3.
I was back. My bad. 19.
And a $2. Okay. Well then. We won't waste any more time. Let me go ahead and get some music for us, and we will go ahead and we will start with our session. We'll do a little bit of a recap. Let me see. I'll do a little bit of this. I would like, or someone's, to go ahead and regale us with the event of last session. It has been 2 weeks, so we could use a little bit of a refresher. A little
Yippee, tag team.
Okay, we're doing a little tag
All right, you
team.
want to start or me?
You could start. I could finish.
Okay, I took mostly bullet points. Because I was fighting.
I can fill in if you need it as well.
So we got out of the dungeon finally with Gilman sacrificing himself. Solomon is left with wounds already scarring rather than healing. Leith got a scar/burn on his midriff. I can't really show the picture, but I have it in my notes.
That was from what Rook did to him.
Yeah. We took them to Dr. Chaplin's. Simri managed to convince the Black Watch to call Lieutenant, I don't know why I almost said doctor, Lieutenant Libiyahin. We tell her about things and are to report to Duke Herons the next morning.
This is going to be a great conversation, guys. In between then, everyone kind of dispersed for the day because everyone was fucking tired after however long we were down there fucking dungeon and the emotional ramifications of having to leave a companion behind. Yeah, a night. That's not the character's name. Hold on. Copper, Semri, Pact, and Leith all went to Salvador's house to go check on his son. To, of course, make sure that his son was okay and was aware of the news that his father had died. And,
Alexei.
Yeah, thank you, Alexei. And to return his father's sword like he wished us to do so, which was great. No one cried. I don't know what you're talking about. And I think that's the last thing we did before we ended last session.
Okay. Yes, we were a little short on time with given everything that happened last session. So we didn't get to quite finish up a few matters of business, which we will be handling here in a few moments. But something that did happen was that you all, upon receiving your long rest, received your level up. You are now all level 5. I will be adjusting the character cards for next session, but know that as we go into this, our party is going to be level 5 on this upcoming day. But thank you, Punk and Bun. Both of you go ahead and take a point of inspiration.
Yippee.
With that being said, as previously mentioned, there are a couple matters of business that need to be dealt with before we get into the following day. So we are actually doing a little bit of a retroactive rewind into the previous night, the night of the 20th of Wintercrest. So,
because Summary and Pax still had
the
like
21st
one other
of
thing to
Wintercrest.
do.
Yes, a couple of you
21st.
had a couple other things to do. But one of the big things that needs to do, Pact, you, as well as presumably Solomon and whoever wishes to attend, I know there were a few matters of business that needed to be dealt with at the tower. Pact, you needed to retrieve Ajana. Solomon is returning home for the evening. Lath, are you returning to the tower as well? Can you say that one more time? It didn't fully come through.
We're hearing is the beat.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Damn it, Discord.
What the fuck? Discord's been finicky the past few days.
Hop in secret chat and come back, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, go back to the tower while...
Okay, yes. Lath is going back to the tower. Okay. Simri, I believe you had a little matter of business at the tower you wanted to handle as well.
Did.
Now, I know...
The tower is very popular right now.
Yes. Now, I know, Balk, you have business elsewhere, which you and I have discussed above game.
Yep.
As you are currently getting some of your frustrations out. But I do have a question for Copper. Copper, where are you going at this moment?
I think at this juncture, Copper would like some time to himself.
Understood. So you're returning back to the Copper Piece for now.
That is the plan.
Excellent. Excellent.
That is a good question. Shouldn't it be the 22nd since... No, we went to the dungeon in the morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are still in the 21st of Wintercrest. We are going because we did the rewind.
Yeah, this
Okay,
is
'cause, like-
what we're all doing at the end of the day. Sorry.
Okay, because from what I had on my notes, on the 20th is when we went to the doctor, and then on the 21st, that's when you... On the 21st, Copper received a letter about Fia Namune.
Oh.
Yep.
It was like right in the morning. So
I
this
have a question for my notes.
So that's why I was wondering if this was... Yes, this is still the 21st, but like
This
going
is the
into...
21st. We are in the later hours of the evening at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going into the 22nd soon once we all actually go to sleep.
That's where I got confused, sorry.
Yeah. Also, River, speak to us before we continue to make sure we're all good.
Woof.
Excellent.
Okay.
What a dog, man.
Dog.
Alrighty. Well, with that being said, why don't we, before we come to the overall group together, why don't we take a moment with Copper? As Copper, you wanted a little time to yourself.
Indeed.
You return back home to the Copper Piece, where the efforts of the day and the tolls that were involved, begin to wane on you. As you enter to your personal space, the back room, your personal space, quote unquote, you notice as a tall, slender figure is sat at the table with a pot of tea pre-brewed, 2 cups laid out, as a very familiar figure to you. is currently in the midst of your personal space, one Ogdu Bahan, who upon seeing you enter goes, "Welcome home, darling. Long day?"
He lets out a deep sigh, and he just sits in the chair. He says, "I would say that you have no idea, but you know all too well."
I understand that you are going through a rough time, but you and I, well, we need to talk.
I'm curious about what might grab your attention.
Well,
But I'm all ears.
Well, you see, we need to talk about what you just did. And Copper, as you begin to take your seat, you watch as the kettle lifts up and begins to pour water into your cup, and a tea bag slowly floats over and finds its purchase in the steaming water, as well as a similar event occurring in the cup before Ogdu Bahan. Well, you see, we need to talk about what you just did, because it sounded a sort of alarm that not even I could have predicted. You see, my friend, you and I, we have a very special relationship. You can think of it as a business transaction. I lend you power, you lend me your unending care and support, yada yada, you know the details.
All too well.
Indeed. However, there is an important aspect of our relationship. Warlocks who are magically inclined, like yourself. With my help, I am able to tap into your innate magical potential and, for a simple term, unlock it. From there, it is primarily up to you to nurse it and make it grow like a garden. My job is to ensure that it is able to grow. You can think of me as a benefactor. I provide the soil, the fertilizer, etc. Nevertheless, you and I, we have pledged ourselves to each other. As a romantic term, this pledging is often referred to as a pact, not to be confused with your handsome friend.
I have done well to restrain myself from making that joke in his presence.
The reason we are currently having Warlock 101 is due to your last conversation with the Brotherate boy. You see, I have a special sort of insight into your arcane well. And he throws up visible air quotes. Arcane well.
So just for him, quotes.
Yes. I can feel our connection, as well as your connection with others. And Copper, my friend, much like our previously mentioned relationship, I could feel that boy's potential unlocking. Do you see where I'm going with this?
He looks like he's about to say something, but then Copper has a minute and he just clicks. Ogdu, am I that boy's patron now?
You see, he smiles. There's a hint of care fused with deviousness. It is my belief, Copper, that, well, now, under normal circumstances, a pact between two standard mortals would be hitherto impossible. But you and I know that our circumstances are no less than unique. It is my belief, Copper, that this pledge that the two of you have forged has opened a door. One that could possibly hold the key to your condition.
As he mentions the condition, Copper goes from wonderment to, he locks in. It's like, How so?
Well, much like myself, we have rather deep wells of power that we are able to pull from. Now, while this condition may act as a bit of a, we could call it a limit to what you are capable of, I believe that perhaps pursuing this sort of course may give us a few hints to alleviating that aforementioned limit. Merely food for thought, but my suggestion would be to keep that boy close. I get the sense that you can help each other in more ways than either of you realize.
Copper thinks for a second and he goes, I suppose that is true. Let's see about keeping a bit of a closer connection with him. He stops for a moment as he's saying this, like, did you imagine me saying this back when we first met? And caring for another?
Oh, the lengths we have come, my friend.
And hopefully shall still go. After all, although my bond with Alexei is genuine and an interesting side effect has occurred, there is more that has been in development. After all, he looks on over to Ogdu. A certain someone today knew that my name was an alias, and I would like to know how he knew.
It is most certainly something that caught the eye of both of us. The question is, does this Rook Ashford know your true identity, or was this merely to pick at you? You and I are no strangers to this sort of thing. Speaking of bonds, shelving that for a later date when we have a bit more information, what about First Lieutenant Libyahim? Are you getting what you desired out of your current working relationship?
You mentioned earlier a garden being grown. I am more in this, it is a farmland. That the process of growing and fruition are more important than the in-betweens. The growing is not as important as the end result, and I feel very, very impatient and very concerned. She is performing admirably in her duties, and yet I am not sure how that I should feel about that.
Then why not tell her the truth? You've had plenty of time to do so. Surely it can't be worse than extending the inevitable.
Thought has been given. I do not think that she deserves. Well, no. Rewriting. I do not think that. I think that she, as a person, deserves to know. I do not think I am worthy enough to tell her yet.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, you've had a long day. I'll be out of your hair, or scales, rather. And he begins to rise, not by standing, but by actively lifting from the seat that he was actually fully sitting at. Oh, and Copper. Preservation of one's own life is never a bad decision. What happened with Gelman is unfortunate, but you still live. That means that you can make things right.
yet the process of doing so still pains.
Unfortunately, that is the cross to bear for beings such as us. But nevertheless, my friend, I will give you your space. I will give you your rest. But know that I will always be close.
Thank you. And he says this, Master Bahan.
Yeah, no, still hate it.
Alright, would you prefer one Ogdu, Bahan, the whole thing? You should really have set terms a while ago.
Perhaps something I most certainly should not have overlooked, but regardless, enjoy the rest of your night, my friend. Or, at least, may it stay with you peacefully.
He gives a bow.
Deuces. And he is gone. You are left alone within the confines of the Copper Piece. Anything? Oh, go ahead.
As he disappears, Copper looks down to what appears to be underneath his cloak a ring that he keeps on a bit of a chain, and he pulls it out and he just kind of rubs it a little bit, looking at it intently and deep in thought. He disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Vanishes into the ring.
Oh, didn't think I would see you so... No.
As I'm just going to go ahead and, for context, where are you? You're here somewhere. Genie's Vessel, bottled respite.
Mm-hmm.
The inside of the ring is somewhat sparse. It looks like it almost looks a little bit like the Copper Piece in that there are tables, chairs, but they seem to be of a higher grade than the immediate area. There's also a spare box here and there that simply says that just has like contraband written on it. But moreover, there's a wispiness, like an airy feel to it, as though you are at the top of a mountain. Of course, Copper is more than familiar with this as he walks inside. I do think some time alone would be needed, but I think some time to collect my thoughts is needed as well. And as he is going to spend most of the rest of this evening inside his bottled respite, he's also going to ruminate on everything that's happening, and he is going to summon back Mist.
Mist forms before you once again. Like a cat hacking up a hairball before you.
Oh, thank you for summoning again, Master.
Welcome back to the material plane. I hope you enjoyed your vacation. We have much work to do.
It shall be done.
Copper, anything else for you this evening?
I think no. For now, he is just going to take some time to himself.
Okay. Understood. With that, let us reconvene with our group back at the tower. We'll kind of forego some of the what's the word I'm going for? Some of these specifics for the sake of brevity. But overall, Solomon and Lath, you are able to return back to your respective quarters, and Pact, you alongside Solomon, or Lath, I believe Ajna was staying in Solomon's room, but somebody can correct me if that is false. But you are able to recover Ajna, who, upon seeing your group, looks excited, like she has just seen old friends, and she flutters up and goes, "Hello!"
I hate being this guy, but does she say it in common or Sylvan?
She does say it in common.
She's learning.
Pact will raise an eyebrow. Hello. How how did you learn common so quick?
Book! And she points over to what appears to be a common dictionary that has been splayed out on the floor.
She's just reading words and learning what the definition is.
Dog. Apple.
He'll look towards the
Oh, you're cutting out a little bit.
Please translate.
Ooh, you're cutting out a lot, buddy. Try again.
Fuck.
All good?
Okay. Just I'll push talk for like 2 seconds and then
All
I'll
good.
put it back on. He'll look back to Lath in case she doesn't understand my entire speech there. Could you translate, please?
And Lace will nod and relay and Sylvan.
Simri will just look at the others and you're like, well, a dictionary is a good start, but she needs to understand how the words work in more complex situations. Simri will kind of sit there and think to herself, I'm just gonna make her her own book. Her size.
It doesn't help that Commons was tricky from Elvish. I had to get the L's and the R's were odd, to say the least.
Oh yeah, no, if I was with my parents, we wouldn't really speak common.
Pact will grab the tube and just kind of like crack it open for Ajna. Wanna head back?
Kind of looking to you and back to Lath and kind of the rest of you, kind of seeing your overall condition. Then looking to you, Lath, and I will answer your question just real quick here. There are a number of toy stores or clothing stores that would have outfits for children, though even that is more than likely too large for Ajna. But you could likely find some sort of toy store in town that would have dolls that would likely have little outfits for her, if that is something you wish to investigate at a later time.
Yeah.
In a
But-
cry.
But Ajna kind of looks to you like, is everyone okay? You all look hurt. This is her speaking in Sylvan to you, Lath.
We're a little beat up and battered, but everyone's okay.
Ajna then looks to you, Pact. Rest? Food! Rest!
He nods.
And she will flutter down into the tube.
He will close it immediately and just gingerly affix it back to his back.
You see, as you go to close it, she gives like a little thumbs up, like indicating that she is ready.
I'm just imagining it just going down into the tube like Terminator.
Okay, it makes like the slide tube noise.
Yes.
With Ajna in tow. Pact, you make your way out. I presume you are heading home for the evening to your home?
Unless someone stops him.
Well, there was supposed to be a conversation that we were supposed to have before this, but it can happen at a later date.
Oh,
It's not
that's right.
super
I'm sorry. I
important.
forgot
It's-
that you were supposed to have a conversation. You're welcome to
Well-
do that now if you want.
Yeah. Well, I was planning on talking to Pact on the walk here, but again, it's just more of a character bonding thing, which can literally happen at any other point. So
Okay, as long as
I
you're
was
sure.
gonna say if you want to get it, if you want to get it out of the way, we can.
Yeah, we can say that you guys had it on the way here. That'd be totally fun.
Oh, I guess we can do that. Yeah. Well, now I have to think about how I'm gonna start it again because my brain. I just lost a sneeze. Sorry.
Bless you.
Yeah, bless the sneeze to come back. I think I can probably make it happen when Pact is leaving, just because it might be a little bit easier. Because since Solomon and Leith are staying at the tower, and somebody has to go back inside anyway, so she wants to get this done before they actually depart. Summary probably walking Pact out. Let's say, you don't have to say yes or no. Hell, you don't even really have to confirm whether or not this theory is right or wrong. But I just wanted to say that I did see the look on your face when we learned about Alexei, and that I understand at least
Do
that
you?
pain.
Do you know what possibly is running through your mind? I wonder.
Well, I mean, any sort of familial loss is hard, so. Simri isn't making direct eye contact with Pact in this conversation, and at the very least within the 2 weeks that you've known her, she generally does this when she's talking about something, a deeper topic that really affects her, so.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And some people just shrug. Just take care of yourself. Don't get caught on the way home.
He'll look confused a bit and just shrug and just casually just waltz off.
And Zimri has to go back inside to have a...
Simri, you want to have a
Uh-huh.
conversation with someone in particular.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do. Who would you like to find, my friend? As your
Well,
group
here's
begins
the
to
thing.
separate and you're kind of left to your own devices, probably not for the better considering where you currently are in your previous activities here, but nevertheless, you are left to your own devices. Where would you like to go? Who would you like to talk to?
But here's the thing. Simri doesn't know the name of the person she needs to talk to. She doesn't even know what they look like. She just knows she needs to talk to whoever the quote-unquote boss here at the tower is.
For the sake of simplicity, for this moment, I will be playing the role of Solomon. So feel free to address
Yeah.
me with this quandary of yours.
Yeah. Solomon, probably halfway through trying to re-regulate himself via reading, probably. Interrupted by Simri. It's like, who the fuck is your boss?
The tower is run by an individual known as the Old Man, but my benefactor would be Bastien Dufour.
Okay, well, I need to talk to either of them about the thing I did.
Right. The Old Man rarely sees guests, but I can see if Bastien is still in his office.
Yeah, that would be great, thanks.
Right this way. And he will slowly rise from his chair again, and he will take you.
Pinky bones!
Yes, he will. You hear a couple grumbles as he begins to move once more, having finally settled. But he takes you through the tower's many roundabout stairways and halls to a man that you have not met before, but would likely have been in your briefing and Copper's briefing of this job relating to the tower, in Bastien Dufour, who Copper brings, or sorry, Copper's not there. Solomon takes you to his office and then kind of plants his hand on your shoulder before walking off, and he just goes, "Good luck."
Yeah, thanks.
And then he will do a little, "Bastien, I have a guest for you." And then you hear from the side, "Ah, yes, Solomon, send them in. I look forward to meeting one of your many, many friends." And you see Solomon as he goes, as he goes to walk away, Solomon actively rolls his eyes. But Simri, you enter into what is a rather lavish looking office, but you can see that this office also has a purpose. There are a number of bookshelves along the walls. There are like clockwork parts strung up from the ceiling and from different parts of the walls. There's a large, like, almost like console in the corner, and then sat at his desk is this man, Bastien Dufour, who you know above game, but this is your first time meeting this man in person. To which, upon seeing you enter, goes, "Ah, good evening. It is a pleasure to meet you. I'm not sure I am familiar."
It's kind of a part of my job, so at least I know I'm doing that well. He watches Simri take a real deep breath, not necessarily like I'm gonna throw up, but pushing down anxiety very clearly.
Is there anything I can help you with? Tea, water, or perhaps something a bit more strong?
No, I mean, I've had a long day, but I'd still rather do this and then just kind of go home and pass out. So, my name is Simri. I don't remember how long ago it was. Shit. But I'm sure you're very aware of the break-in that happened here.
I have been informed to the ins and outs of it, yes.
Yeah, that was me.
And you see there's a mixture of surprise, but also like pleasant, almost like giddiness in his expression as he, "Oh wow,
Oh no.
that is quite serious. And the part you stole, you know its purpose, yes?
I do now.
I see. And you see he goes over
wish that
to
he
what
still
appears to
had
be
it.
a cabinet, and he pulls out what appears to be a liquor bottle of some sort of amber brown liquid. It looks like maybe whiskey or maybe even rum or something. And he pours himself a glass, and he kind of looks back at you over his shoulder and just kind of holds one up, kind of like, get this?
No, I'm good, thank you.
I thought when you said he was going over to cabinet, he was going to open it and pull out a rolled up newspaper. bad.
He goes over and he pulls out a gun.
No!
Oh, water gun.
No!
He pulls out a spray bottle.
Bad, Simri.
Yeah, spray bottle.
He pours himself a drink, and you see that from one of the slots in the cabinet, he pulls out a perfectly, like, one of those perfectly circular, single ice cubes, and
Good, yes.
pops it in the glass before pouring himself some liquid toxin. He takes a sip of it, kind of overhandedly, and begins walking back over to his desk where he sits again. You are... Hold on, I need a glass for this. You are hardly the first to steal an item from the tower. We have methods of tracking stolen items to eventually recover when needed. And he takes a sip. The part you stole, it is no longer within the city limits. My best guess is that it's now on its way to Reichenberg for your client to collect. Unfortunately, it is likely lost. However, we had a suitable replacement in our possession at the ready, thankfully. Which now leaves me with you. What were you about to say?
So you're just saying that's good to know.
Which now leaves me with you. How would you seek to make amends?
He watches Senri kind of grind her teeth for a moment.
You see there is a very, like, as you do that, there is a genuine, but vaguely shit-eating smile that crosses his face. He does not break eye contact with you as he takes another sip.
Like, I'm not good with money, obviously. I wouldn't have sold that thing if I was.
If you were good
Or
with
at least
money,
it
you
wouldn't
wouldn't have
have-
needed to steal it.
That too. I'm good at what I do.
That is clear. Yes.
Not asking you to tell me to steal something, but I'm also good at another thing which is solving problems. If you have a problem, I can probably solve it.
As he kind of opens his mouth a bit wider, you can see that he does have, like, some fangs, given his, presumably tiefling heritage, and he kind of lays his his tongue along the tip of one of his, canines. Well, to that end, appropriately enough, I'd like to present you an offer. How would you like a job?
He watches Simri's ears go from airplane mode to kind of upright.
You see, the tower has many connections, but one we've never been able to establish, and he kind of begins to lean forward as he's saying this, one we've never been able to establish has been with that of the night owls.
Can I make a deception check?
Sure, what are you trying to do?
Simri is trying to hide her surprise that anyone even want to connect with the night owls in any way more than just obvious, because they're good to have connections with, but like a genuine, like, contract.
Yeah. Make me a whatchamacallit, a deception check. I almost said persuasion.
And whatchamacallit is great.
Mm-hmm.
Not great. 12. I forgot. I don't have training in that yet.
He kind of still staring at you. Yes, my dear, I know who you are. And despite present circumstances, I believe we can help each other. And operations such as this sometimes requires a deft, dubious hand. A necessary evil, some may call it.
Mm-hmm.
But let me speak plainly. All I ask is that you be, what's the term? On call, as it were. You may find yourself asked to perform certain tasks befitting your skill set under the jurisdiction of the tower. All I ask is that these tasks be performed with the efficiency and professionalism as any other, with an extra hint of secrecy. We wouldn't want anyone to know of the tower's involvement, of course.
Of course, yes. And I feel like you've just been waiting for me to walk in here to have this conversation.
Oh, with, what's the term? Ego feet? No, that's not the term. Yes, is the short answer. Then,
Fuck,
of
what am I
course.
gonna do? Say no.
Well, unless you'd rather have us have this conversation alongside the wonderful company of the Black Watch.
It wouldn't be the first time.
If you need to speak with your associate, Copper, you are welcome to do so, but know that this is a timely offer.
Give me a couple days, I guess. Just been a bit of a week. He'll just see Simri stare blankly into the distance for a second.
Oh, it's been a bit of a week for us all, my dear. Take your time. I will be here and I will be ready. Simri.
Simri turns to walk away for a second,
Mm-hmm.
and then turns around. I don't regret stealing the thing. That was my best job. I do regret that it has an effect on the tower, though. And that's as close as she'll get to saying sorry before she leaves.
He raises his glass to you once more before taking another sip. Your candor is appreciated. I'm sure you can find your way out.
I sure hope somebody can find her way out. Thanks, CG.
Alrighty.
And
Simri,
then
you
I
have
go
been...
back to the copper piece.
Yes, you have been gifted a proposition. Most notably, when you arrive, Simri, Copper's not there.
Where's my dad? Where's my funny uncle? Because he's not my dad. He's my funny uncle.
Simri, I left to go get cigarettes and milk. Be back sometime.
No! Fuck. Simri probably doesn't do much when she gets back to the copper piece, other than maybe reheating whatever leftovers there are.
Mm-hmm.
She'll go to her timeout corner
Okay.
and eat and rest until Copper pops back up, or until she actually feels herself going to sleep. In the meantime, planning on making that book for Ajna, her tiny book of words. There we go.
Okay. Okay. With that, my friends, Bulk, you, as all of this is going on, you are laying out a bit of frustration on some poor Archangel goons.
Hell yeah, he is.
This is healthy for me.
I do have
It sucks for you, but this is very cathartic, and I'm feeling great by the end of this.
CG, you have no idea how much I could take that out of context.
Do it, coward.
I would like to know, does anyone have any more business before we conclude the evening proper? Going once? Going twice? Alrighty. I do have merely one more question for everyone. Or I guess one more brief check-in with everyone just before we continue on to the next day. So, Copper, Simri, you're at the Copper Piece for the night. Copper, you're away, but you are at the Copper Piece for all intents and purposes. Pact, you've gone home. Solomon and Lath are at the tower. Bulk, where are you staying tonight?
Last he was told was to come back to be at Chaplin's. Honestly, they were told not to leave, but he's like, I'll leave. I'll come back, though. That's okay. So that's where he's coming back, because that's where he was told.
Okay. You are staying the night at Dr. Chaplin's. For perhaps some observation.
Yeah.
Okay. Most notably, remaining the night in Dr. Chaplin's clinic. Make me a perception check.
No, nat 5.
You get there, you hit the bed, you settle, and you're out. You are out cold.
I'll clean up in the morning. Wham!
Everything just finally sort of hits, and you're just out like a light once you finally get to settle and rest. But, noted. With that, we come to the conclusion of the 21st of Wintercrest. You all find your way to your long rest. You get your full 8 hours. Some of you maybe perhaps begrudgingly, given the rough nature of the day before. But you all get your long rests, and you all get your proper level ups, which you've already applied to... but you all already applied those to your sheets. With that, we come to the next day. Let me find some proper music for this. Yeah, this will do. As you all begin to kind of stir in the evening hours, most of you are either alerted by the sounds of knocks at your door. Bulk, you hear a knock at the door of the clinic. Solomon and Lath, you both are summoned by a number of the stewardesses at the tower, almost at the Copper Piece, and that was not right. And I'll be doing these one at a time. The knock at the door of the clinic, Bulk, kind of startles you awake. You kind of, as Dr. Chaplin opens up the door to the clinic, and you see before Dr. Chaplin what appears to be the second lieutenant of the Black Watch, who you've met before, Kraz Ladesh. Morning, Doc. Here to collect one of your patients. And his gaze kind of looks over to you, Bulk. Morning, big man.
Half of his face is flat from where he was laying on the floor.
I promise he was in a bed when I left him last. No judgment from me, Doc. But whenever you're ready, big man, meet me outside. You've got a meeting with the Duke.
I'll just wash the sleep out of his eyes and muss up his hair back to semi-normal as he leaves.
You gather yourself, you collect your things, and you do eventually, after a few minutes, leave with the second lieutenant. As with Solomon and Lath, you both are brought down. You are summoned to the entrance area, where outside you are met with this individual who, seeing them, they appear to be of clerical nature, a Goliath figure who introduces themselves. Good morning. My name is Velth Cloudseeker. I'm the third lieutenant with the Black Watch. I have been told to collect you for a meeting with Lord Harrow.
Yeah. And Lath kind of... You can see Lath is half dressed, but absolutely doesn't have a top on.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see all the, you can see the big new scar and all the, pretty little scars.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of rubs the sleep off his face. One moment, please. And he quickly shuts the door and finishes getting ready.
Lath, do me one favor as well. Make me a religion check as you kind of catch eye of the religious paraphernalia adorned on this person.
Religion. 16?
You notice that this individual appears to, kind of as you've seen in a couple places, does seem to be have their armor emblazoned with the sigil of Urasil, the Lifebringer, the god of life and renewal. But otherwise, you and Solomon, you both take a few minutes, collect your things, and once you are ready, you join up with Lieutenant Cloudseeker, who begins to guide you to Lord Harrow's manor. It should be noted that with each of these individuals, they are not accompanied by any sort of Black Watch members. It is just them, which is relieving, but also a little, I don't know if suspicious is the term, but perhaps unnatural is a good way of putting it. As for Copper and Simmery, there is, again, two of you eventually get up. I presume Copper would probably be the one to answer the door first.
Of course.
Yes.
It's establishment.
Mm-hmm. Good morning. Apologies for coming here in the early hours of the morning. I see you haven't opened up shop yet. But I am afraid I'm going to need your companion and you to come with me. My name is Shell Alander. I am the 4th Lieutenant with the Black Watch. You have been requested for a meeting with Lord Duke Novak Harrow.
Right, okay.
this woman, not quite as heavy armor as you've seen on some of the other members of the Black Watch. Hers seems to be a bit more form-fitting, but ignore the flying sword. The sword is currently in the scabbard across her back at the moment. Maybe that will come into play later, who knows? But she does seem to be a human woman, probably early to mid-30s. Hold on, I actually have the information here for y'all, which I forgot to give you. My bad. Hold on. The Black Watch. I will give this to you all in one go here in just a moment.
I'm gonna swing from the shell on deer.
Shut up. Both of you. Kraz Ladesh, I don't need to give you that information. You are aware of him. But much like in the with the other members of the party, you guys are able to collect your things and you make your way to Lord Novak's manor alongside the 4th Lieutenant. And then there is you, Pact, who, much like the others, there is a knocking at your door.
I assume Ajna is just kind of hanging out in her designated area.
In her little drawer, yes. And she kind of pokes her head out. And you hear her go, door? Door!
Just Barthes like puts his like finger over his lips. He'll take the hairnet and the freaking apron off, because I assume he would be making breakfast at this point.
Probably.
And
that would be my guess.
And just like head towards the door, just kind of crack it. Yeah.
Before you see what appears to be a rather young, all things, the most surprising thing about them is that it appears to be a centaur. As you see this individual. Good morning, 5th Lieutenant of the Black Watch, Elena Tayentis. I have been asked to bring one, Mr. Pact to Lord Harrow's mansion for a meeting that has been called. Pact, one of the other most notable things about this individual, alongside them being a centaur, they seem to have strung across their back what appears to be a black powder rifle.
Looks at the rifle, kind of cocks his head. Interesting. Yeah, that's me. What you need?
I need to bring you to Lord Duke Novak, as there has been a meeting called between him, yourself, and a few of your compatriots.
Give me like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. He'll just kind of close the door, not really waiting for a response, and I guess go to collect his things, and trying to like pantomime for Ajna if she wanted to stay here or kind of come with.
She will opt to come with.
Nods, like motions for the tube, and then just cracks it open for her.
Kind of as you said, a few minutes go by, but eventually you collect your things, you collect your small ferry to come along with you, and you begin to make your way alongside the 5th Lieutenant of the Black Watch, who, most notably, as the two of you walk, she kind of mutters to you, "You're Dawn Creed. Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, copper rank.
I myself was a member of the Dawn Creed. My mother was as well, but she was much higher rank than I was. Pact, make me a history check.
Natural 1. He probably didn't care.
Yeah. It's either you didn't care or in your head you're going, I would certainly have noticed a centaur in the Black Watch if they were of high enough rank. Right? Right?
He looks stupefied for like 2 seconds, and just like with that thought and like just genuine confusion on his face. Can't say that I've noticed any of, any other centaurs in the area. Well, at least in the guild hall. He says as awkward as possible.
Oh. Well, that's quite alright. It's just something I figured I'd point out. Yeah, I appreciate what you're doing within the guild. It wasn't quite from me, as I found out.
I'm sure the Black Watch keeps you busy, and guess the same line of work, just more interior instead of out there.
Most certainly.
Though I do gotta know. He kind of like looks. I assume they're walking, and like as he's like he'll kind of like look towards like towards like the back towards the rifle.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know how to use one of those.
Oh, well, maybe I can show you sometime when there's less pressing things.
Sounds like a plan. I'm always open to broadening my repertoire, so to speak.
For sure. All of you having been collected by varying lieutenants of the Black Watch, you all are brought to Lord Harrow's manor. Let me go ahead and change your music here. What do I want here? This will do. You all are brought into the manor where, as you are led through the halls, one of the things each of you notice is that as you all begin to kind of convene, you notice that as you're brought just before the dining, what above game is the dining hall, they're sat just on the outside of the dining hall, sat on what appears to be like a little bench, is First Lieutenant Libyahine. She is structurally sound, but it is pretty notable that she does appear to have some injuries. Most notably, her right arm is heavily bandaged, and you can see that she almost seems kind of lost at the moment. She's just kind of staring. She doesn't even seem to really notice that your group is there at the moment.
After a minute, if no one says anything, First Lieutenants, who appear injured.
She takes a bit of a deep breath. 12. 12 of the Black Watch's finest. And I'm the only one who survived. Ashford was ready for us. Some were barely able to ready their spears before they fell. And at the end of it all, Rook kept me alive. Said that only one needed to live to report my failure. And that it might as well be me. And it's, as she's saying this, she's just staring ahead. She's not looking at any of you. You can see from the other members of the other lieutenants of the Black Watch, they're all kind of, as she's saying this, they're all kind of uneasy. Some of them are downright concerned for their compatriot.
He has a tendency to fuck with people. Bach just clenches his fist, looking down at the floor.
That they do. Third Lieutenant Cloudseeker kind of wanders over and notices that a couple spots of the bandages around her right arm are beginning to bleed through. Maybe I'm going to need to change your bandages again, it would appear. And almost instinctually begins to start casting some sort of healing spell, likely Cure Wounds, upon the spot that is beginning to bleed through. Right. Sure. Yeah. Whatever you need to do.
He doesn't have them, but Copper is currently biting his lip. May I assist?
I can handle this. The Duke, as well as Captain Roberts, are awaiting you all within.
Let's out a bit of a sigh, I guess. Very well then.
The second lieutenant.
In business.
Go ahead.
No, he was just going to say, on to business then.
The second lieutenant kind of comes over and does a knock at the door. Kind of opens it a bit. Captain, brought the individuals you asked for. And you hear from within the firm, gruff voice of Captain Roberts. Send them in. And the second lieutenant kind of opens the door a bit wider for you all to enter.
Copper will walk in, regretfully.
Yeah, we're going in, yippee.
Mm-hmm.
Bach's going in last.
Pact mentally prepares himself to get chewed the fuck out.
Yeah.
As the collection of you begin to make your way in, it should be noted that stood across from this rather extravagant but cozy dining hall, there's this long sort of like mahogany or perhaps pine wood, like a dark wood dining table that goes across the entirety of this chamber, and sat down at the far end, kind of with his hands steepled at the moment, is Lord Duke Novak Harrow. Or sorry, Harrow Novak, more specifically. Stood next to him, kind of seeing you all as you enter, would be Captain of the Black Watch, Captain Kirk Roberts.
Sit, all of you.
Does so.
As you all...
I imagine everyone sits down pretty stiffly and slowly.
Mhm.
Yup.
Well, Pact will notably do like a 45-degree bow before sitting.
As you all are beginning to find your way in, make your way to your seats, everyone go ahead and make me general insight checks.
15.
Natural
15.
one.
29.
Sorry, I was seeing if I had anything that helped me.
Gotcha.
16.
The air in here is no less than tense. There is a multitude of emotions that are kind of culminating in this chamber. You all see as Lord Duke Harrow Novak is sat there. His hands are steepled. He's deep in thought, it would seem. He's like, you can tell that he's registered that you're there, but it's like he still isn't processing it. As he's just kind of staring rather at the door, the entranceway, rather than your group as you're beginning to enter. And then before him seems to be an unfolded letter. A piece of parchment. Those of you with higher passive perception, there is a wax seal emblazoned upon the letter. One that carries the same sigil that was marked on Lath's skin during your previous encounter with Rook Ashford. As you all begin to kind of take your seats proper and settle, there is a tense silence before Lord Novak, who is still kind of just staring towards the back of the room. He finally kind of lowers his hands, leans back in his chair a little bit.
I must admit, I am disappointed to hear of the gung-ho nature of your operation. I had hoped that you would have reported to me before taking such extreme action, Inquisitor.
And as he's talking, he's not looking at any of you. He's just talking.
But I do not seek to wound you or reprimand you, any of you. I know that you all are hurting already.
And this is where he finally begins to kind of address all of you.
Late last night, the Black Watch, well,
Perhaps it would be more appropriate for you all to read this. And he is going to slide this unfolded letter to whoever would be closest. Who do y'all think would be the closest individual here?
Lath would want to be
Copper
as
sat down
far
first, I
away as
think.
possible.
What was that, Punk?
I assume Copper.
I think Copper went in first, so I think it would be Copper, Simri, Copper, Simri, Pact, Lath, and then Bach. Like if we're sitting all in a row at the other side of the table, just because that's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess that's me then.
Okay.
He'll take the letter.
Thanks, buddy.
This is going to be a handout
you.
for all of you. But Copper, I would like for you to read this letter aloud.
Lord Duke Harrow Novak, thank you for taking the time to address this letter. First of several surprises that shall become apparent to you within the following minutes, for I admit I did not expect such courtesy. Though I suppose your reputation does precede you. To you, I finalize our metaphorical contract. I have acquired what we needed from Mr. Sanoa, plus some. He has to take a second. As recompense for the state of my son caused by your freelance hounds. Paid for by the members of the Black Watch your first lieutenant was so kind to provide. Feel free to perform whatever funeral rites you deem necessary, for I have already made adequate space for Mr. Sanoa to join where his Dongreed companions lay. I would advise against revival rituals, though. I trust you have more sense than those you associate yourself with. Soon, following the transcription and delivery of this letter, I shall be taking my leave of Blackwall. By the time you really have read this, I will likely have already departed. You, nor your people, need fear my influence upon your wonderful city for the foreseeable future. I took up residence underneath the Blackwall Memorial Cemetery in the catacombs of Blackwall's noble houses. There, as you will have likely been informed prior to reading this, you will find the results of my operation within your city. I've also taken it upon myself to transcribe to you the names, occupations, and next of kin of those who have lost their lives for the betterment of humanoid evolution. I do not take their deaths lightly, neither should you. Any identifiable parties you find within the depths of my, dare I say, home, are yours to collect. Those who are likely unrecognizable have been labeled appropriately to minimize confusion for your operations. Do not be mistaken, for I am not finished with Blackwall or its people. There is one amongst your populace that has garnered great interest from me, which is why I request a simple favor of you. I hereby call for the arrest of one Sunri Soile, whom has taken up residence within the attic of the establishment deemed the Copper Peace by the sole proprietor of the same name. I ask that she be held in confinement until the date where I shall bless Blackwall with my presence once more. If you seek cause, Miss Soleil has performed a myriad of criminal activities within the walls of your city in the months and years that she has called it home, including but not limited to breaking and entering, theft and burglary, smuggling of stolen and or illicit goods, assault and battery, and most of all murder. I offer this information to you in good faith, though I hope when the time comes you may grant me guarantee for Miss Soleil to be deposited into my care upon my return to Blackwall, lest you reap the consequences. Details of this contractual transaction are more than fair, I would deem. Until such time that I would return, do not follow me, do not pursue me. Stay your hunters, or carry the weight of the unspeakable horrors of what may occur to them upon your conscience. And should you find my warnings insufficient or therefore lacking, know I do not take pleasure in wasting time or energy. Should you deign to ignore my warnings, send your best. Until that time our paths should cross, I look forward to meeting you in person. With condolences, Rook Ashford, the Scarlet Butcher, the man that death forgot. The envelope also contained a detailed list of 27 names, occupations, and next of kin, as well as their addresses. These names have been organized by association, including 14 members of the Black Watch, 8 members of the Dawn Creed, and 5 others of non-outstanding membership or association.
The Black Watch raided the place mentioned in this letter late last night. Everything they've stated is true. We've retrieved many who had met their end at Ashford's hand, including your friend, Mr. Sonoa. Mr. Sonoa's body was missing his arms, his heart, and his rib cage, as well as chunks of flesh and muscle from the back, chest, thighs, and more, which had been methodically cut and stripped. My condolences to the loss of your friend. I will ensure Mr. Sonoa's sacrifice will not be forgotten.
Hopper,
Yeah?
you know that burning smell that happens. Thank you, Nug. I am aware. That burning smell that happens when Simri is upset. That's what's happening right now.
Ah, yes. Copper just kind of looks on over to Semri and sees that tensions are starting to flare up.
She's holding it together. Barely.
He sighs. And he hands the letter back.
As he
He
sort
is
of
going to...
Go ahead.
No. Go for it.
As he begins to sort of slide the letter back to him, Rook Ashford has left the city. Short of First Lieutenant Libiahin, who remains in a state, you all are the last to encounter this individual. I would seek your summary of events, as well as your counsel as to next steps.
Copper looks as though he's about to say something. But then he looks at the rest of the party. He's not looking for permission to speak for everyone at the moment. But he is also kind of getting a vibe from everyone. He knows what Semri's feeling.
Pack just has like this vacant look. He's not really looking at Lord Novak. He's mostly just like looking at the wall right now. He is kind of twitching his knuckles a bit.
Face is gonna look up finally and just kind of be like, what Rook is doing is despicable, and it needs to be stopped. So whatever it takes, I will help.
The Duke is more or less just kind of gauging your responses right now, rather than speaking on his own. He's just kind of seeing what each of you have to say.
If you want my help, you're not getting him back in one piece. He's just glaring at the floor.
He'll be lucky if it's only in 5.
Your dedication to this task was not a matter of discussion. I empathize with how you all are feeling, but that was not the question I posed to you all. As previously stated, I would seek your summary of how things occurred, to hear it from your mouths, as well as your counsel for next steps.
I would love to offer it, but I must address question of the deal proposed in this letter. I would gladly offer my counsel, but such matter weighs heavily.
You can have my recollection in writing tomorrow.
Dart, above game, do you want us to give, like, a recollection of our events?
Yes.
Above game. I was Copper saying like I'd love to give it. I'm totally down to give it, but are you going to arrest Emery? What the fuck?
Yeah, like that's kind of where like Pax like being very reluctant about giving information at this current time. He's just sitting there staring.
He's getting nothing from Simri, who's currently fuming and trying to calm down, failing at every turn.
He's asking you all to present your case. If you don't want to give him any information, you don't have to, but that could very well determine how this conversation goes.
If Copper would pick that up, he'll speak up.
Laces just doesn't know where to start with everything.
Mm-hmm.
With respect, he kind of looks at the rest of the party, and he looks at Semri, who is in no mood. We were following an incidental trail. In my own investigations into Rook Ashford, I had sent out a informant to perhaps identify them. This was back when I only knew the name, as opposed to the reputation. Picking up on the trail of that informant upon learning of their unfortunate demise, I sought to reclaim something that they had dropped there, as well as investigate the area, as it was the last known location of my informants. Upon looking for the item, we instead found the mausoleum and descended below. He encountered multiple abominations in there, and they were dealt with cost to us, and with the aid of Master Gelman's help. As we proceeded further, continuing to investigate, we made our way into the depths, where we encountered Rook. We were not expecting to find him at that point, and he seemed more than happy to regale us with his masterwork. He slew the masterwork, but all the while Rook watched. As he watched, after we took care of it, he stepped forward. And with all that we had navigated our way through, there was little chance of us surviving. That is when Rook Ashford offered us a deal. That we leave Master Gelman and we depart safely. We did not accept this deal, but one of our number did. Gelman offered himself after the battle took a grim turn and two of us were felled and in critical condition. He offered himself to Rook that we may leave. That is when we departed, made our way to the nearest doctor to tend to the injured. And that is when we contacted the first lieutenant. That is our recollection of the events. As for counsel, I have a lot of ideas and thoughts. And should we opt to pursue the Scarlet Butcher, if we decide to do so, then we have a path that does not follow his shadow, more an indirect route. Copper is going to, once again, he's going to try and get an insight from the party. Because I'm above game, I'm all for laying all cards on the table. But I'm not going to do so without the party's A-OK.
That'd be up to the group.
What would you consider all cards? So I'm in the brain, in the same.
What are you
brain
thinking would
space.
be hidden?
Whew. Yeah.
I'm going to tell him about Fia, Salaxis Dent, and the Salaxis Dent and the Reichenberg conspiracy. I will probably include the theft of the parts. And I will also probably the one thing I'm going to keep out is Ajana.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Fuck down with that.
Especially, like, I'm more than happy with all that, especially the whole Reichenberg stuff with them breathing down Novak's neck.
I'm so glad you're gonna say it, Copper, because Block would like butcher it in his writing of just rich people doing rich people shit. Reichenberg is a hater.
Yeah. Alright then. It has come to our attention through our investigations that the reason that Rook was liberated from his prison was due to outside forces and meddling. A party hemmed by what eyewitnesses' accounts identify as a pink-haired woman saw to his release. My own investigations and dealings with this woman. They are Fia Nimue, and they are dangerous. That much we know. They are operating under the order and direction of Salaxis Dent and Reichenberg. It is my belief, based on preliminary investigations, though hard evidence remains elusive, that the idea was to destabilize and discredit Blackwall. Disrupt, even. In this ongoing political play that the two cities are having right now. The recommendation and counsel that I have at this juncture, even before we learned of the departure of Rook Ashford, was pursuing fear and the connection to Reichenberg. It comes to reason that if Rook was released as a political tool that the ones who orchestrated his release would keep tabs on him and what he is doing to see that their own machinations go according to plan. And Copper will take a pause for questions or remarks or thoughts from Lord Novak.
As you kind of finish up, he kind of slowly nods a little bit.
As far as your initial report goes, it is not dissimilar from what the First Lieutenant reported. That is good. That is what I had hoped for. As far as the Scarlet Butcher, whoever sought their release, whether or not they are truly affiliated with Reichenberg's best interests, remains to be seen. But, it is not an incredible theory. I've had a few suspicions of this myself. And it's finally at this point when Captain Roberts, who has been otherwise pretty quiet and just kind of eyeballing all of you, finally kind of speaks up. Several of you were listed by the Inquisitor as consultants in this investigation. It should be noted that officially the rest of you have broken the law by meddling in an unofficial investigation. That being said, Mr. Yaksabu,
And Pact, clench your fist a little bit, knowing that he has fucked up your name again.
It's Yakusobu.
apologies. Lady Dana has been made aware of your involvement. You are to report to her at the conclusion of this meeting, as you are a long-standing member of the Dawn Creed. It will be up to her to determine if you are punished for your involvement in this case. As for you, Miss Soleil, these are serious accusations. I'm sure it wouldn't be difficult to accumulate evidence against your case. That being said, the Lord Duke has formally requested that you not be detained by the Black Watch. But be assured, questions about your character have arisen. For all intents and purposes, presume an official investigation has opened against you to ensure that you are not involved in Ashford's operations.
Henry doesn't say anything. She doesn't blink. She doesn't nod. Well, she does blink. Barely.
Mhm.
There's not a lack of reaction. It's just like she's not really heat.
You're hearing it, but it's just not getting through to you. There's no
Yeah.
response.
Mm-hmm.
The dude kind of leans forward a bit more.
My condolences again for your friend, and for the situation that you all have found yourself in. But rest assured, I do know that ultimately you all were intending on providing a service to this city. And to that, I do thank you for your service and your sacrifice. To that end, I will make sure that each of you are properly compensated for your efforts. While Rook's capture was ultimately a failure. We are better and stronger because of it. And we will get him. That I promise you. It is at this moment that there is a knock at the door. To which Captain Roberts actively goes over and opens up the door. Those of you who are closer to this side of the table, Lath, for example, those of you with higher passive perception, there is some mutters. Captain Roberts is less than pleased that your group has been, that this operation has been disturbed. This conversation has been disturbed. What is it? To which you hear on the other side, the second lieutenant. So you're going to want to step outside, as well as the Duke. An Inquisition convoy from Reichenberg just arrived. What?
Oh no.
Oh, fuck.
Fine. I will be out in a moment. To which he nods and the door closes. Captain Roberts comes back over to Lord Novak and whispers the same information into his ear. To which Lord Novak you see him kind of straighten up a bit. I see. Thank you, Captain. Well, if this wasn't already a important enough conversation, it seems that Reichenberg's Inquisition has just arrived on my doorstep. Inquisitor Ciangler, I'm going to have to request that you step outside with me. The rest of you, this meeting is currently adjourned, but I request that you remain here.
Yes, sir.
Simri's hood is going up, but Leith feels that very, very, very familiar connection in the back of his head. This is gonna be Leaf,
Mm-hmm.
Copper,
Mm-hmm. You can leave it at that if you want.
and Impact. Yeah.
Okay.
Fox is gonna man spread, groan, and sit back, like squat, like shuffle down further in his seat, like damn it.
With that,
does
my
something
friends.
Sorry.
Go ahead, back.
It's because he does something similar, but he just more like folds his arms into his chest and just kind of just sits there and just looks up. Just looks like the most grumpy old man. Nope, not getting out of my chair.
Not getting out of me chair. Alrighty, my friends. Well, with that, with a sudden arrival here within the town, the city of Blackwall, here at the doorstep of Lord Duke Harrow Novak, that is as good of a place as any for us to take our break. Thank you all for joining us so far. A doozy of a session, I assure you.
Not me literally sitting here like, what murder could I have done? I'm not even like being like, I haven't murdered anyone. It's who could I have
You
murdered?
killed a member of the Archangels.
Yeah.
A couple of you have,
And
in
then
fact.
and then CG was
Damn
like,
right.
"Oh, archangels," and I went, "You're so right."
Well,
I'm not considering that murder.
my friends, we will be back in a few moments. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back. Alrighty. So, with a little bit of a new development, let's go ahead and let's bring ourselves back to our game.
Oh, before I forget, the connection lasts for 4 hours.
4 hours. Excellent. Okay. As most of you are left to this chamber, kind of being given an opportunity to discuss amongst yourselves if you choose to do so, Lord Novak, Captain Roberts, and Lath, you all walk outside, where out front there, much like the second lieutenant mentioned, there does appear to be a Inquisition convoy. Not only is there a number of Inquisition troops all wearing rather similar regalia of that blue and gold. Many of them seem to be of clerical nature. Some seem to be more heavy armor fighters and paladins. You even see that there are a couple individuals who are acting as some of the more roguish types, rogues, rangers, that sort of thing. Even a couple mages. A little bit of a collection of individuals out here. Many astride horseback. Most, though, having been seemingly having to travel on foot. But the most notable aspect of this, there are two notable aspects. The most noticeable one is what appears to be the rather unique prison carriage that is being toted by two of the mounts. It's ultimately not that large. It is roughly the size, maybe a little bigger than that of a standard coffin. It is laid astrewn, so long ways. But then the other notable thing is the man who is at the front of this caravan. Lath, the man that you have not met. You wouldn't necessarily recognize this individual. Well, you would recognize them based on your previous knowledge. You have not met them, but based on your previous connections to the Inquisition, you know who this is. This individual before you, and I can get their image ready. This is a Fenris Lupin individual of rather significant build, is carrying a rather lengthy broadsword across the back, toting that heavier armor with a long collar and cape. Lath, you recognize this individual as High Votary of the Iron Covenant within the city of Reichenberg, Merrick Steelbark.
Oh God!
Yeah,
y'all
your
here?
superior is here, Lath.
Y'all are gonna hear in the bond. Oh God, I think I'm gonna be sick.
Oh no, buddy.
I'm sorry. All I'm hearing is Powerwolf right now, and frankly speaking, that's making me happier right now.
Merrick is stepping down from his mount, which should be noted, rather than a standard horse like many of the others have, it is a winged lion. One of rather significant size. As he steps down, he sees the three of you, Lath, out on the steps to the manor, and more specifically, he acknowledges the Duke and calls out, "Lord Duke, apologies for the sudden arrival. It would seem that news of our impending arrival had not made its way to you." To which the Duke, you see his eyes kind of dart to you and dart back. "No, I would concur with your statement, though I appreciate your candor. I welcome you to Blackwall, a city befitting of such a title like no other." And it is at this moment that High Votary Steelbark begins to properly approach, kind of stopping a moment at the bottom of the stairs. Gestures to you, Lath. And you must be, Inquisitor Sea Angler. I was told to expect you, though I admit I had hoped to hear from you once you had arrived in Blackwall. And before you can speak, Lath, the Duke kind of speaks first. He goes, "You'll have to forgive Inquisitor Sea Angler. I've had them quite busy since they arrived. Busy or not, I'm sure the Inquisitor is fully capable of speaking for themselves, Lord Duke." And it is at this point that this individual properly ascends the stairs, and he is tall. Captain Roberts is tall, and this guy is still at least like 3 or 4 inches above him. This guy is probably treading like top half of 6 feet. He's like bulk level. Bulk, how tall are you again?
6'11".
6'11"? Yeah, he's about Bulk's height, roughly. Maybe a little taller just because of the ears. But he will approach you and the Duke, and you notice upon his armor, his armor is emblazoned with what appears to be a wolf head, almost like the Witcher logo, actually, but it's holding a spear in its mouth. Go ahead and make me a religion check.
Natural 20.
Nice. You have made it a point to learn and be familiar with many of the aspects of the Pantheon in your studies. Most notably for you in this moment, you recognize the sigil of Ragnos, the god of war and order. As you're kind of noticing this, Steelbark kind of seems to acknowledge your religious insignia as well.
My familiarity with the great lover is questionable at best, but to the surprise of many, the teachings of love and war are not terribly dissimilar.
And you see as he kind of raises an arm over his chest.
Peace and love, Brother Inquisitor. It was good to meet you. I'll be expecting your full report on this fine city before the end of the day.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry I didn't get to you sooner, sir.
It's quite alright.
You can visibly tell that Lath is anxious.
Mm-hmm.
He looks very, very pale for as dark blue as he is.
Yeah. Overall, as you're here, Lath, this individual does seem to be kind of giving off this air of comfort isn't the word, but it is a not too dissimilar word for the feeling that's kind of being aired here. Bond, I guess, is a good one, but it is very much like, in a stand, as is apt for this moment, it's very much like meeting your boss, who you've only really heard about up until this point. Lord Novak speaks up again.
Diana was still nice.
Lord Novak speaks up again.
To what do I owe the pleasure of welcoming Reichenberg's Inquisition?
To which High Votary Steelbark kind of drops the facade a bit.
We may drop the pleasantries for the sake of business. I am here to collect your prisoner. Lack of correspondence regarding the prisoner status has invoked an amount of concern from the Crown and the Circle. Even the Pontiff has expressed the importance of this matter.
Like, you feel your heart kind of sink in your chest a little bit. Do you say anything in this moment?
No. Lath doesn't know what to say. Late's getting real close to fainting, not gonna lie.
Laith, why don't you make me a wisdom save?
And after that, what are Leaf's thoughts?
12?
You are fine
Could Pac,
for now.
put his hand behind. Sorry.
He's shaking. It's sweating.
What were you saying, Pac?
Could Pac put his hand behind Lace just so he wouldn't, just so the poor boy won't fall over.
You're not there.
They're outside the
fuck.
room.
Sorry.
We're all still in the room.
I'm so sorry.
You're okay.
No, it's all good. This is in Laith's mind. Simmer, you hear you and Simmery and Pac talking. Fuck.
The Geiger counter is just getting faster.
Yeah.
You just hear swearing dolphin noises.
He said number 11.
It's
Hold on.
either he found someone hot or he's in trouble.
My apologies, it was not my intention to invoke such worry. Why don't we step inside? I'll make sure your people are cared for as well by the good captain here.
To which Captain Roberts kind of leans forward, puts out his hand a little bit.
Captain Kirk Roberts, leader of the Black Watch here in Blackwall. Pleasure to meet you, Captain. Your reputation precedes you. I heard you do good here, work here with the Black Watch.
To which Captain Roberts kind of gives a little bit of a nod. The two of them give a firm handshake.
I'll make sure your people get a warm drink and blankets. I'm sure they all would welcome a reprieve from the cold. That would be most kind. Thank you, Lord Duke.
And Lord Harrow will begin to pull you, Laith, himself, and Merrick inside, and you hear he kind of leans over to you and goes,
I'm going to try to stitch this situation together the best that I can. Just bear with me.
You see, Laith will actually sign "I'm sorry" without realizing he's doing it.
Let's see if you can identify that, actually. I don't have his languages in front of me, so I'm just going to make him roll for it. He clocks and he goes,
It's all right. I knew this was coming.
the three of you go inside, and much to the Duke's chagrin, you are brought to his private office alongside the High Votary, where he pours the three of you some hot tea. Much to his chagrin, he gives a full recap of events to the High Votary. The crashing of the Guinevere, Rook's escape, their operations within Blackwall, efforts made to recapture them, a finely detailed report leading up to everything prior to this meeting. You're able to give your own sort of testimony and report with events as well as this conversation goes along, but it is a report that goes up to covers information prior to this meeting, including the sordid fact that Rook has left Blackwall. It is a report that takes no small amount of time, given the meticulous level of detail that Lord Harrow insists to go into. But the entire time, the High Votary sits and remains quiet, letting the Duke and yourself speak at length. Following the conclusion of the retelling of events, the High Votary sits, the steam from his tea wafting up to his muzzle. He closes his eyes and takes a deep breath.
I must admit, Lord Duke, this news is troubling. I find myself more disappointed that you would seek to recapture Rook Ashford on your own rather than requesting aid from Reichenberg or Mysicle.
Lord Novak replies in kind.
Action had to be taken. Inquisitor Sea Angler and the Black Watch were nearly successful in capturing Ashford once again.
To which Merrick, High Votary Steelbark, kind of takes the cup in hand and goes,
And yet,
and as he goes to take a sip of his tea, do you have anything to include in this moment, Lath?
One more time?
Do you have anything to add to this moment as he is kind of taking a sip of his tea?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. There's a moment of pause as he takes a sip of his tea. Once he's finished, he goes,
the growing tension between Blackwall and Reichenberg, or perhaps more accurately, yourself and Lady Markov, does not concern me, Lord Duke. My loyalties lie eternally with the Iron Covenant, but my duty asks that I serve Reichenberg's best interests. I have to report this. To that, I do thank you for your honesty.
There's another sort of moment of silence. More accurately, Lath, you kind of determine that this is probably more a moment of hesitance, especially on the Duke's part.
I understand. I will accept whatever punishment the Crown believes would fit such failure. You attempted to correct the situation. I cannot say I wouldn't have done the same thing in your situation. Hopefully the Crown will see it that way. Have you anything to add, Brother Inquisitor?
Merrick looks to you once more, Lath.
No, I'll make sure to keep better contact.
And if there is nothing else,
And Merrick begins to... He finishes his tea and he begins to stand.
I shall ready my people to track down Rook Ashford.
To which Lord Novak goes,
What? But what about Ashford's warning? The Seraphim is powerful. You can't just empty words from a ghost. As long as Ashford remains free, people will get hurt. Or worse. The Covenant must hunt them down.
There's another bit of hesitance from the Duke.
Well, yes. At least allow me to offer you assistance. I can give you able bodies and, respectfully, Lord Duke, I believe you've done enough. This now falls into the Inquisition's jurisdiction.
Lath, go ahead and make me an insight check.
$20?
The Duke is trying very hard to put on a calm demeanor. He's trying to be, as previously stated, calm, professional. He is getting angry.
I understand.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Under my breath. Hold on. Does it have a... It is a vocal component. However... Could I kind of mutter, it's okay, and kind of make the spell go off?
I need to check something. Give me a moment. What level spell is this, Lath? This is the second level? Lath, you don't feel this spell reach Lord Novak. And it's not a matter of him resisting your spell. It's like the innate magic genuinely does not reach him. It is unable to reach to him for him to resist.
Interesting.
Sorry, I lost my Discord. There it is. I understand. At least let me give you and your people supplies for the road. Food and warm blankets. Those would be appreciated. Thank you. And thank you again for your time, Lord Duke. And you see as Merrick Steelbark begins to leave once more. A word, Inquisitor Sea Angler. And he kind of gestures for you to follow.
Lath will follow.
As you go, the Duke kind of stops you for a moment. He kind of puts a hand on your shoulder and he whispers into your ear. Come back to the dining room when you're finished.
He'll nod.
For those of you within the dining room, after what feels like an eternity, what is probably genuinely in-game a matter of probably upwards of almost 2 hours, Lord Novak reconvenes with you without Lath. The Inquisitor will be joining us here again shortly, but thank you all for being patient.
So, in that 2 hours, have any of us talked?
That's a good question.
Locke hasn't, but he has slid to the floor in annoyance.
Just melting onto the floor.
Upset.
Pact. Copper. Either of you spoken at all?
He would. Pact would have made a mention of Lath looks either is concerned about something, or he saw someone who was hot or something. No idea. No idea. Just a string of curses.
Yes.
I will say, it wouldn't surprise me above game if a lot of the conversation between Lath, Lord Novak, and High Votary Steelbark, if a lot of that was relayed to Simmery and Pact, since they
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
Copper.
And Copper. That's right. I forgot Copper was a part of the link.
Hi.
Hi.
Because I could do 3 people now.
You can do 3 people now.
My proficiency bonus 20,
I'm not gonna. I was
Shut
going to say a punk. River.
Let me.
With the minimal conversation, I need to roll a sanity check for Simri after.
Yes,
That,
please do.
Oh boy.
Can I give an inspiration?
I want this to happen, so keep your inspiration.
I will do so.
Simri, tell me, what do you want to happen?
So it starts off.
You can
pretty
see the
mild.
devilish way I just steepled my hands.
Yeah, yeah, I can feel it. It starts off pretty mild. Those who are connected with Simri every now and again just kind of hear little whisper of what would be Simri's voice in the back of your head. Pretty easy to at first.
Cutting out
And
a little
then
bit.
You are cutting out a little
yeah,
bit.
I know. It's because I'm sniffing. And then 30 minutes hits, the whispers get a little louder and a little more consistent. An hour hits. You're starting to be able to kind of hear what words are being said. And it's probably at about an hour and 30 minutes where you realize Simri isn't filtering her thoughts at all through the connection like she normally would.
Oh, shit.
And it is a lot of crosstalk between herself and like 5 other thoughts and memories of things that have recently happened. And just, she is running in circles, spiraling, thinking about what she can do to help with the situation. There are real dark thoughts. It gets really bad. I think it's Copper and Pact that are sitting closest to her.
100%.
Yeah. Copper would definitely be the first to notice. But Simri she is practically vibrating in her seat.
Simri? Yeah?
She does not respond.
Oh god, she's gone non-vocal. No.
Oh no.
Yeah. You hear a lot of thoughts of, if I just leave, that might solve the problem, and then like another part of herself was like, no, that just makes it easier for Rook to do what they need to do, and it's a lot of back and forth.
Mm-hmm. You're having an internal argument.
Yes.
You're having a panic attack.
Yes, Simri is currently having a panic attack.
Simri.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
For the next 8 hours, you are affected by the frightened condition.
Yippee!
Have fun with that. There
Thanks,
is
I
no
will.
singular source to your fear. So you don't have to worry about not being able to approach or run away from your problems. But it should be noted that all other effects of the frightened condition do apply here.
Mm-hmm. It's not until Lord Novak walks back into the room where you guys pretty much hear the connection cut off completely. Like, it just stops.
Oh.
Yippee.
Ray. Copper's so glad he was able to help her.
No, buddy. No.
With that, the next few minutes are spent with most of you are probably already aware of this, as I imagine those who are in the know are likely relaying the information spoken in the previous conversation to the room. But Lord Novak doesn't know that, and basically goes through a small recap as to what has just happened with the High Votary. He's keeping you guys in the loop, oddly enough. As that is going on, Lath. The High Votary, Merrick Steelbark, begins to walk back outside with you. Also, I just realized I never gave y'all his information. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Let me do that real quick. In the Hoops channel.
Dare you.
As the two of you begin to make your way back outside, Lath. The High Votary. Tell me, brother, What do you make of the Lord Duke?
Above game, how long have we been here so far? A month?
About 2 weeks.
Oh, fuck!
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. I'll just give one more confirmation.
So
Yes, you have been
it's
here
like 10
less-
days.
10 days. You arrived on the 11th of Wintercrest. It is now the 22nd of Wintercrest.
I mean, w- with the utmost respect, I've really only been here a couple weeks. A lot has happened, and I really haven't gotten to have very many talks with the Duke.
Surely enough for him to give you some sort of impression, though, I'm sure. You see,
I
I get the impression that his heart is in the right place. I get the impression that he is an honorable man.
He's been very generous and helpful for me since arriving.
He treated you well, then?
Do what?
He's treated you well, then?
Yes.
Good.
Sorry, that was really hard for me to hear.
Sorry.
Is this a
It sounded like one word. What?
As I mentioned, I get the impression that his heart is in the right place, but I fear that this brewing, dare I say, rivalry between Blackwall and Reichenberg may be leading both down a path to ruin.
I could understand that being a genuine concern.
Thus, you recognize the importance of our work here. Good people live here, as well as in Reichenberg. We cannot allow that to happen.
I understand.
Nevertheless, I'm glad to see that you did not fall to the butcher's machinations. You've seen his work firsthand. Any parting words of advice before I seek to hunt him down?
Lath will kind of,
Sorry. I just saw good fucking luck from Punk. God,
Don't get
the myriad of responses I got from the rest of the group at that question. Anyways, continuing on.
Genuinely, hold on, I'm trying to think of advice now.
You can show him well, I don't say show him, but mention
That-
the brands that Rook can do.
Actually, thank you, I was going to. Since, you know, he's almost always got his whole ass titties out, he kind of pushes aside his, top, and you can see the scar. The burn mark.
I'll make a roll for him.
Don't get touched.
That is a very old mark indeed. One that carries a lot of dark history behind it. And this occurred in the spur of the moment, in the heat of combat.
Ash did it.
One more time?
Ash is the Rookford is the one that gave me the mark, right?
We just didn't hear you.
Yes, that mark appeared once you were struck. Seemingly, once you were struck by Rook, is what you presume, because that's the only time Rook touched you, and it was seemingly channeled at a later moment.
Rook got me once, and it was just a hit, and then I don't know, he channeled something later, and this happened. You can, like, Rook has given Laith an actual kind of fear, so he's, like, kind of trembling.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, he's used to being on missions, but nothing like this.
Right.
This is a lot for him.
Right.
I almost lost my life. So, please take care of yours.
He'll nod.
I shall not remain in Blackwall for long. Only as long as it takes for my people to pick up Ashford's trail. In the meantime, I would ask you for a full report on Blackwall, and that you come to me for anything you may need. Do you believe you can do that?
Yes.
Wonderful. And he is going to place his hand on your shoulder, and it is a firm but still deft grip on your shoulder.
The Pontiff speaks highly of you. I know you've already strived to do good things here and will continue to do so. I will speak with the Duke again before I leave, to establish a place for our first wave of missionaries to convene. I get the distinct impression that not everyone will be as welcoming as Lord Harrow has been, but rest assured, you shan't be alone here for long. But until then, make sure you take care.
Yes, sir.
And then he kind of looks out to his people.
I'll be here if you need me.
And he'll almost immediately start calling out orders to his people, who you can see a number of them are being handed out food, blankets, warm drinks. It is a scene that you are not unfamiliar with, given your peacekeeping missions alongside the Inquisition. In a way, it's almost welcoming. Relieving, even. It's almost nostalgic. But, nevertheless, ultimately, you two head back inside and reconvene with the rest of your group, to where, when Laith arrives, Lord Novak is just about done kind of recapping, giving you all a short recap with what just happened.
Welcome back, Inquisitor. I trust that the High Votary is being taken care of.
Yes.
Good.
And you can see there's like a wave of stress that seems to lift from his shoulders as he kind of relaxes a bit.
I know you all are very tired. Your bodies and your hearts hurt. pains me that I must ask for your assistance once again. The one responsible for releasing Rook Ashford, the one you mentioned, I ask that you find them, and you bring them to justice. If we are not allowed to pursue Rook Ashford, if that is outside of our jurisdiction, then we will make sure all accomplices are brought to justice as well. This Fia Nimue that you mentioned previously, she still is here within the city. I want her found.
And the Duke, in the few conversations you guys have had, very calm, collected person. There is a sign of anger beginning to bubble over in his mannerisms, in his speech, and his general demeanor.
Thalaxis Dent, as you previously mentioned, if they are a member of the Rosehaven Circle, Reichenberg falls outside of our jurisdiction, your jurisdiction. Perhaps acquiring his associate will give us a bit of a leg up. Will give us a bit of insight as to why they would go to such lengths to see Rook released.
I believe that we can do such a thing. At the very least, you have my services in this matter.
He'll give you a nod, Copper, and he'll kind of look to the rest of the group just for general responses.
I know the past few days have been tough on all of you. I empathize and I sympathize. I am asking for no small favor, which is why I state here that you all are to assist me in this matter. I will make sure that each one of you is protected under the finest extent of the law here in Blackwall, and that each of you are compensated properly for your efforts. While Rook Ashford does not currently lay in captivity, I remember my friends. I remember my friends fondly. And I do not idly belittle the efforts of those who put their lives on the line for my city, this city, our city.
We, at least I, sympathize with this. Blackwall is my home. It's where I make my living, it's where I make my life. And we cannot have upstart serial killers making things worse than it has any need to be.
Also kind of gauge responses from the rest of the group, if anyone should choose to speak up.
I don't like bullies, and Rook was an extra big dickhead. And I get paid for this last thing. It won't make losing my friend any easier, but I can forget it for a few hours.
I assure you,
He's just still saying it from the floor.
I assure you that you will be compensated for your efforts previously. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. To your previous efforts and to those you should choose to make going forward. Maybe a bit unofficial in this moment, but we can herefore refer to your group as deputies under my care, under my supervision. Speaking of, you all have seemed to have formed a party of sorts. What should I call you all?
Asking the big question. What is the party's name? You don't have to answer it at this moment if y'all really don't know. But
I love the idea. Sorry?
no one say anything. Keep going.
We don't have to right now, is what he said.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, let's not make a decision without J Frost.
Yes.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. And y'all can decide this above game, in game, whatever. But I do agree. To be determined then. Any other questions?
It has been, as you said, big. I'm gonna... 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Discord's wigging out on me. I'll be right back.
Okay. He's dead.
It's been waiting
He's alive.
for a bit.
No.
Am I... though?
Oh.
Okay, I'm back.
Hello. I will admit Discord has been a little wonky tonight. But we're getting through it. We're getting through it. But what were you going to say, CG?
What was the last thing that you guys heard?
You mentioned something about having an idea, but wanting to wait for J Frost.
Yeah, that was basically the extent of it.
Yeah.
I like the idea. Wait for J Frost.
And then you started saying something in character.
I remember what it was now. As you said, we've all had very trying days. Let us reconvene on the matter for now, and we shall we'll reconvene on the matter later and provide you with a name.
To be determined, then. To that end, any comments, questions, or concerns regarding anything thus far or your next task?
Personally, I wouldn't stay out of politics as much as I possibly can. If you can do that, then I can gladly give you whatever is left of Rook.
I don't need Rook right now. Rook, unfortunately, is outside of our hands, but if you can get me their associate, I'd deem I'd be a happy man.
Do my best, but if she is that so close and involved, that's gonna be very tricky to do.
He'll kind of nod at that. I suspect that no challenge in the near future will be anything short of difficult or convoluted, but so is life. In this moment, does anyone else have anything for Lord Novak?
I'm thinking.
No. Unless he wants to make an insight. Simri's still offline.
Above game, we the copper pieces repairs is going to be handled, right?
Yes, you are still awaiting your
that's gonna be handled by
payout
the
to
Black
cover
Watch.
the cost of the damages from the other night, but it is coming.
Okay. My Lord Novak, should we require getting in touch with you, is this going to be a skullduggery, keep it off the books thing, or is this going to be approach the nearest god and ask for an audience situation?
I'll have some formal documentation written up saying that you are acting as agents under my supervision for any possible need, whether that comes to getting in contact with me or merely proving your dedication to your efforts to the Blackwatch or associated parties.
Excellent. Then one more follow-up question. As you can see, emotions are running high. I think this would be an excellent time to lay down some, let us just call them boundaries. That we all know what we can and cannot do and what lines we should not cross. My personal moral compass, I believe, will align quite well with yours, but even so, saying these things out loud can be beneficial.
What do you have in mind?
How am I putting this? How is this skeeving bastard putting this?
I don't know. How is that skeeving bastard putting this?
I'm trying to figure it out. I was saying it to give myself time. There are...
I'm balked to sass the Duke to give you time?
No, we like the Duke. He's cool. You can sass Copper, though. There are elements outside of the established law of the Blackwatch.
Come a little closer to your mic, CJ.
Oh. Here we are. Is that better?
Okay. Yes, thank you.
Much.
Okay. There are certain activities that the Blackwatch may frown upon, that may provide avenues that we may investigate and find our quarry. And I just want confirmation that the pursuit of these avenues would not come back to bite on our character and our relationship.
The terms of our professional relationship will be outlined in the documentation I will provide for you. In short, it will state that under my supervision, anything you say or do is under my... No, sorry, hold on, my brain's not working. Anything you say or do under this work for me is a representation of my efforts to see this job done. I merely ask that you do not do anything too over the top, but most things you should be able to, as an apt way of saying it, get away with.
Of course. Getting away with it is something of a specialty of mine. Wait.
You have my blessing, is
And
one way of saying it.
very well then. I think that is all the question that I had.
Anything else, gang?
It depends on when we start leaving. If Sibri says anything. How we start leaving, I should say.
Okay. Before you all go, do you wish to see him?
Do you mean Lieutenant Libiahian?
No,
I think Gelman.
he's talking about Gelman.
His appearance may be startling, but I would hate to revoke you of your last words to a dear friend.
Yeah, Bach's standing up very straight now.
Pact will actually look towards Balk, waiting for his response.
Yes.
Oh,
In fact, why didn't you say so sooner?
I felt it would be apt to get this condition out of the way, rather than raise emotions higher than they already are.
Bach just kind of scoffs. You're like, waiting till the end and not saying anything kind of made it worse for him, but...
Copperwolf company as well.
My question, honestly, in this moment, is there anyone who does not want to see Gelman? Or rather, what's left of him?
If Simri was responsive, she would be okay.
Okay. Going once. Going twice. Alrighty. Then with that, you all are led by Lord Novak, in fact, down into what appears to be a lower level of an underground level of the manor, where there seems to be a sort of facility that, based on initial look, seems to be rather old. And ancient isn't the term, but aged probably is pretty apt, where the more homely and cozy finer woods and linens give way to cold stone halls. It becomes more and more apparent that there is a morgue down here. Let me change our music real quick. No, that's not what I want. I want this one. As you guys continue on, you see that laid out on what appears to be a stone and steel operating table, covered from the neck down in a fine plaster sheet, is someone you have come to know quite well, Gelman Sonoa. You can see that the general make of his build under the sheet denotes accuracy to the previous reports given to you by Lord Novak. He is missing rather significant features that would attribute to his width, or even perhaps length would be a term. But the other thing you notice in here, stood by the table side, is First Lieutenant Libiahin, who does not actively have a sling at this moment, but seems to be holding their arm in almost a sling-like manner. The injured arm that you guys saw before. They are silent as the group of you begin to approach Lord Novak. As you all kind of begin to make your way in, he kind of mutters to you all, "Take your time. Whenever you're ready to speak more, you are ready to leave, come find me. I will be upstairs. And he'll plant a gentle hand on the first individual who would be entering. I would say, unless anyone has arguments, it would probably be Bulk, but because
I was thinking
Bulk is
he was
the
like
most eager.
almost stepping on the Duke's heels.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pat would be like right behind him too.
Mm-hmm. Bulk. Real quick, make me a perception check. That was a wild roll.
10. I know.
The touch is gentle despite the leather gloves that adorn his hands. But there is almost like a slight scrape to it, almost like he has long nails underneath the gloves. It's just something that you kind of notice as he begins to make his way out, as he kind of gives you that touch. But one by one, you all begin to enter the chamber. It's quiet. The light is not overly bright. There's a kind of like an overhead light that shines down on Gelman's form. Libiahin kind of, you could presume, has likely made notice of your group's appearance, but has still not addressed you or even said anything. She's merely looking down at the figure before her. What do you all do? What do you all say? What do you all think? What sort of emotions are you feeling in this moment?
I can go first.
Go ahead, CJ.
Copper will step up and he'll look on over form of Gelman, because I see last gambit didn't quite work. It was a long shot. I don't know where you are right now. I don't know what has become of you. But I think you have less melancholy about it than we. We are still here. And you, I know that you went down swinging. And that is exactly how you probably wanted to go out. Don't worry. We'll get him. Good night, Master Gelman. And thank you.
Who would like to go next?
Leif will kind of walk up, it's covered by the sheet, and just kind of rest his hand at the side and use his other hand to, like, hold his insignia he's gonna kind of say just a little silent prayer, and then just kind of whisper, "I'm sorry we couldn't do more." And he'll just kind of let his hand fall away and kind of walk back, tears kind of falling from the corners of his eyes.
I can't do justice for what J. Frost would likely say as Solomon in this moment. But I imagine Solomon would probably express the fact that despite the lack of time that your group spent with him, Gelman was one of you. He ultimately was a member of your group. And much like I'm sure many of you think, or many of you are to say, Solomon would probably also express that you guys are going after Rook in Gelman's name. Who would like to go next?
I believe Pack is up.
Okay.
Mostly as a reminder, his arms and hands are still with the body, right?
As far as the report goes, no. The arms were fully removed from the body, and their location presumably with Rook or otherwise unknown. As well as the heart and the ribcage and several other surgically cut chunks of flesh and muscle from numerous spots across the body. To confirm this, you would have to remove the sheet, which no one has done yet.
He's not going to. Pact will... It's going to look awkward, but I guess where the shoulder meets... I guess where the arm would be, or at least where the hand would be, he would try to put his fist towards that. And kind of just look towards the body. You broke a promise with me. That's something I'm not going to let... That's something I will take out on Rook's face, body, mind, and soul. I am sorry I wasn't able to save you. And he'll just kind of walk off.
Okay. I believe Bulk was after Pact, correct?
Already advanced, guys. I was just gonna take a few angry steps forward and yank the sheet up.
Okay.
Get an eyeful, he has to see it.
And a bit of that rage that bellows within you, Bulk, you frustrated, you rip the sheet over, and it is gruesome. The arms where they would connect to the shoulder socket, those have been removed from the body. The chest has been left splayed open, that the skin actually seemingly cut off and removed for easier access to what lies underneath, which is a cavity bereft of a heart and a rib cage. The lungs that would normally sit there have been displaced but remain otherwise freestanding within the cavity. While the humanoid body is flesh and blood, it's almost like he's been taxidermied in a way. I'm forgetting what the term is, but there is a distinct lack of blood in this picture. There's a distinct lack of a overall bloody mess, but it's like Swiss cheese in a terrible way of saying, but in just spots, almost random spots across the body, there are just chunks of flesh in the muscle underneath that have just been cut out, almost like in squares. It is a terrible, terrible sight.
He's gonna slam his fist on the table. You should have let me help you. Damn it, Gilman! You should be here drinking with us. You should be seeing Lady Aravir. I'm gonna gut that man. I'm gonna gut that man and string him up like a pig.
Bulk, you, in this moment.
I'll put the sheet back over, kind of sloppily.
Okay. You take one last look at the scene, emblazing it in your mind, not as a curse, but not as a curse, not as trauma, but as a memory. This is something you do not want to forget, not just to keep Gelman's memory true, but so that way you can enact a similar punishment to Rook Ashford once you are able to find them again. You cover up the form once more. Not as tidy as was previously done, but easily done.
I think for seeing what was done to the body, and then he Bulk slam his hand on the table. Simmery kind of boots back up for a moment. Looks over what's left of Gelman's body. I hope wherever you are, you can confess your failures to your companion. That you can amend those ties and start forging bonds once again. And hopefully that you can finally be happy. I don't want anyone else to die because I exist.
Simmery.
And I'm sorry that you had to.
Just notably, I will let you finish. It is notable that...
Oh, that was it.
Oh, that was it? Okay.
Yeah.
It is noteworthy that as you say that, you see as Libyahin's gaze actually fixates on you for a moment. Before she too kind of seemingly snaps out of her stupor. She places a gentle hand on the side of the table before slowly but calmly exiting the room. Does anyone else have anything here to say to...
I think Simri would leave with Lib.
Okay. As you all begin to file your way out of here, slowly but surely, Lib, who was one of the first to leave, I'm going to, for the sake of this, I'm going to say that Copper is probably the first to hear and probably the closest one to Lib when she says this, but she mutters kind of almost under her breath, almost inaudible, but still enough for those close to hear. The captain is having me relocated to Port Hold for the foreseeable future. Once I'm fit for duty, that is.
But may I ask why?
I lied to the captain and the rest of the Black Watch. People under my command died because of me. Their deaths are on me. I don't disagree with his decision. If anything, I think he is being lenient. I'd wager the Duke likely had a hand in his judgment, otherwise I would have expected to be court-martialed for... And she kind of turns back and looks at Gelman one more time. She pauses. Nevertheless, I accept the punishment.
I think it's bullshit.
Maybe. But as I said, I don't disagree with his decision. It's unfortunate, but I don't think he's wrong. And I am not of mind or body to argue against his decision. Not now, at least. Besides, it's temporary, as far as I know.
That is good at least. Perhaps some time away to nurse wounds and recollect could be good for you.
I think this is a way of him telling me to cool it. She kind of shrugs. Whether or not that's the intention, I'm not going to say he's wrong yet. I still have time here. Maybe he'll change his mind. Right now, I'm going to focus on my recovery.
I think that is wise. First Lieutenant, once the day before you are set to leave, would you be kind enough to grace my humble abode once more? I would like to know when you depart. And perhaps share a cup of tea.
Understood. I'll plan on it.
And I guess... Sorry, I'm trying to put into words. I fully believe that you will bounce back from this. You are an excellent guardsman and an excellent, upstanding character. You seem the type to bounce back from basically anything.
There's a soft smile that creeps on the edges of her draconic muzzle, as it were. She takes a deep breath. Your candor is appreciated, Copper. Truly. I'm sorry about your friend. All of you. I'm sorry I couldn't save him.
Just make it back. No one else can lie on my behalf better than you can, besides Copper.
She'll smile again. She'll nod her head. I'll make sure of it. And besides, I'm not gone yet. Not gone yet, but in dire need of a drink.
Same. It's actually where I'm heading next.
Maybe we could all afford to get a drink then.
Mine's to go.
I agree.
I don't hear any disagreements.
Nope, not for me.
My friends, I ask you all now, before you head back into a cloudy day with coveted in a light snow, back into the city streets of Blackwall once more. Does anyone have any final business here within Lord Novak's manor?
Locke will just want to know where Gelman's buried. When it happens.
Lord Novak, for the sake of brevity, you ask Lord Novak this, and he informs you that you all will be informed when Gelman's funeral rites occur.
Okay.
The last thing Zimri will do is, because I'm actually not sure if it'll work. If she can still see the dupe, she will connect with him mentally.
He would have walked you all out above game.
Yeah.
He was waiting for you guys to finish.
Make an attempt to connect mentally. And she will just say, if she feels that familiar connection, Simri can feel it, but she will just say, listen for the name. I need to make sure I'm getting the name. His last name right. I remember his first name, but why is my brain forgetting? What's Elrock's last name?
Nazir.
Azir.
Thank you.
I'm surprised you forgot.
It's his first name that my brain remembers.
His first name's more hateable.
Yes, it is. Keep ear out for the name Elrock Nazir.
There's a bit of a head tilt at that, but he nods. Before you all go, he addresses you all one more time.
funeral rites for Mr. Sanoa, as well as all who made their unfortunate end to Rook Ashford's machinations. Funeral rites will occur on the 24th of Wintercrest. It will be a public event, but you all are invited, of course. But,
Thank you.
of course, my condolences again. But, my friends, as you all walk out past the waves of Inquisition troops and missionaries, as you make your way into the streets of Blackwall once more, and you all head to the, dare I say, perhaps the Silver Lantern Inn for a drink.
Yeah, Bach's gonna want to
Go somewhere
see
familiar.
Ash.
Yeah.
Bach, you can come back. You can hang out there again.
Mm-hmm.
For a little.
But as you all begin to reconvene at the Silver Lantern Inn for a bit of a pint, or two, or three, or four, that, my friends, is where we are going to end for tonight.
Oh, my feels!
Yeah, like I
What happened to
said,
aftercare?
doozy.
Bark, 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 bark.
Punk. Aftercare comes after aftermath.
Yes, correct.
Hate you.
That's the name
Stop
of the
being
next
right.
episode, Aftermath, Aftercare. Nobody let me
Yeah.
forget. That's the name of the next episode. But, with that, thank you all for joining us tonight. We gotta go ahead and get on out of here, so let's go ahead and send it on around the horn. Let's start with, I'll roll for tonight. Before I roll, I will go ahead and give a shout out to our buddy Jay Frost, who unfortunately was not able to join us tonight due to internet issues. According to him, Xfinity had a DDoS attack, which I haven't heard anything of. But I know that his internet has been down, so we'll catch him up before next session. But you can find him at
Before you
twitch.tv/jfrost747. What's that, Bun?
Just something stupid I realized.
Oh boy, here we go. Get your giggles out.
Well, for one, they're kind of half giggles. For one, the connection with Duke Novak lasts for 6 hours. So thanks, Dice, when I don't need it.
Thanks,
if
dude.
he has anything else to say, well, that's within a mile. Go ahead. Shit, the second thing is gone. It's fine. Continue with telling the people about J Frost.
Well, that was pretty much all I had. Up next is going to be actually Bun, funny enough.
Hello, people. It is I, Bun, with allergies. I am the Flustered Bun. You can find me on Blue Sky, Ko-Fi occasionally, or where maybe I post speed paints. I played Semri, very emotionally charged, very, very tired rogue. My allergies really played into making me sound stuffy when needed it to, though, so that was cool. Go. You can find me Tuesday, where we're back in a slightly less, but also quite more literally hellish area for Death to Zariel. And then whenever we play another game with Turt, that's me.
That's me.
Split.
Alright. Up next. CG.
Hi, I'm the CG. You can find me nowhere because I don't much care for social media. You can find me also on that thing with the tart and the doing and the later in this week and the Zariel deathing. That's basically it. I can word good. English major be me.
Be you.
Yes. English major, I am our being.
Yes. Alrighty. Up next, Joe.
You know, dating in 2026 is not that hard. Just know the difference between mansplaining and lore dump on a hyperfixation.
There's that twisted T.
Hell yeah, brother.
This is number 2.
Hell yeah, brother.
Lucky.
Bro, this does nothing to me.
But it tastes kind of good.
It tastes great, but like it does nothing for me.
Yes. Up next, Punk.
What's up? I'm playing you angry sad boy, Block, the big boy. I am studying for a licensure exam currently, so that's why streams haven't been back since the birthday stream.
Let's go.
But hopefully I'll pass. It's Wednesday, so hopefully after this week I can get back to it, but you'll hear about it more on Instagram or Blue Sky, where I'm most active, all at Punkyard Dog. That's me. It'll probably be starting with Date Everything.
Let's go!
That's me!
That's you! Okay. And that leaves us with River.
That's me. You can find me over at twitch.tv/WickedRiver97. I'm gonna be streaming. I don't know when this week. I got a lot going on, so March is gonna be super busy for me. But that's it.
Alrighty. And that leaves me. Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. My name is Farin Tart. I am your humble Dumble Master, your locally sourced trauma inducer, here to thank you all for being here tonight. You can find me at twitch.tv/Farin Tart, where I am a variety dog tuber specializing in, with an emphasis in Souls-likes and horror games. Just recently played through Resident Evil 9, which was really fucking good, dude. It was really good. It was really good. Next time you'll find me on that channel will be on Tuesday, where we are getting into back into more of our second year of our You Have Uno tournament. We're going to be having a bit of a special match on Tuesday that I'll leave that in a little bit of suspense for when that airs. But otherwise, you can find us here that same night, where after that match, we are going to be back here, or on Wednesday, depending on what the group decides, for the next episode of Death to Zariel, our, little adventure, our Year in Candlekeep alumni venture into the Descent into Avernus module, the back half of it, as it were, where our party just defeated the group of demon individuals attempting to find their way into the Bleeding Citadel, and have now been confronted with the entrance to aforementioned Bleeding Citadel, where they seek to acquire the Sword of Zariel. For more of that, tune in here on Tuesday and or Wednesday, depending on, again, what the group decides. But otherwise, we gotta get on out here. We mentioned RE9, and so we're going to go raid a friend of the channel, one Nero Napier, who is currently playing RE9. Everyone go, show him some love. We're going to do a bit of a throwback raid message with a King of the Cheese! King of the Cheese!
I don't get it.
If you know, you know. But thank you all for joining us tonight. We will see you all once again back in the city of Blackwall in 1 week for our next episode of Sins of the Blood.
But otherwise, thank you all for joining us tonight. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Have a wonderful rest of your week. And remember, as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights. You are loved. You are valid. And if no one's told you today, you fucking matter. We love y'all. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you.